Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another edition, another episode of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I am your host, Manager Marty. I'm so glad to be here today. And every time I say that, I really mean that genuinely. I'm excited about today. God woke us up this morning, and we all have something to be grateful about, even if there are things happening in our lives that we just particularly don't like or agree with. We're blessed. We really, really are. I know I am. And I know you are too. And I'm glad that you're able to be here with me today. We're going to have a great show today. I mean, you've seen the title. You've seen it. So I don't have to use theatricals to galvanize the audience. I don't have to use certain keywords to touch on your spidey senses, so to speak. Y'all know what time it is today. Yeah, y'all see the title. We're going to talk about Devin, Haney, and Regis Prograis. I mean, we know that the weigh-in between these two champions are going to happen extremely shortly. The entire weigh-in is happening now. We're going to provide the results for the weigh-in and what I see in the weigh-in and face-off. We're going to touch on that, of course. We're also going to touch on Rick Glaser. We're going to touch on him. We're going to speak on him. Oh, absolutely. We're going to also speak on True Media, sports radio or sports TV, or his YouTube name, Coach Malachi. He's most notably known, which people have told me they call him Coach Malacoon. That's what people told me they call him, Coach Malacoon. Of course, I don't call him that. I call him Coach Toby. We're going to speak to him today as well. We're going to speak about World Combat Sports TV. Yeah, we're going to speak about him as well today. I haven't spoken about him in a few months now, but we need answers. So we have to include him in the conversation as well. Speaking of conversation, we're going to speak on Barbershop conversation. Yeah, we're going to have to. I'm going to roll the tape on all four of these guys today. And we're going to dissect some of the words that they have publicly said. And I'm actually going to issue all four of those guys a challenge. Now, the challenge is not against me. We've seen several of the guys, with the exception of the last guy, we've seen them all throw shots at me on numerous occasions, right? You've seen it. You've heard about it. And I'm going to issue them a challenge today. Like, once again, not a challenge versus me. Neither one of those guys want to see me on this YouTube boxing thing. None of them. None of them. When it comes to YouTube boxing, and when I say YouTube boxing, I'm talking about media. Yeah. Talking the sport of boxing, they don't want to talk to me. None of them. And I'm okay with that. So the challenge is not versus me. But I am going to issue them a challenge in general. And we're going to deal with it as men. I love this YouTube stuff, y'all. You know what I mean? I love it because you get to hold people accountable. I mean, I know I do. Personally speaking, professionally speaking, I hold people accountable. Hey, I'm held accountable as well. And I'm willing to be held accountable. So it's not like I'm able to dish out accountability, but I can't accept or receive it as well. No, there's no honor in that. And so we're going to talk to our compadres, our fellow constituents here on YouTube. I have a message for those guys, a challenge for those guys. And I hope they stand up to the challenge. I do. I mean, it is what it's going to be, right? So we have to talk and use words, use proper vocabulary to have a healthy discussion and dialogue. You know, I want to say this in my introduction, and then we're going to get right into the show. Excuse me. It intrigues me how people that have YouTube channels, right, excuse me, can be so full of themselves. It really does. It intrigued me. Seriously, it does. I mean, when I listen to some of these guys, and I listen and hear how they always talk about how good they are, how great they are, how much money they have, how much money other people don't have. I mean, how well they're so put together, how many contacts they have, how it's all about them. And they're so caught up on themselves and so self-centered and self-absorbed. Apparently, they have an inflated self-image. But it intrigues me because most people that have that issue, most people, when it was time for them to perform under the lights, I'm talking about off of YouTube in their younger years, whether it be teenage years, young adult years, or as an adult, they wasn't built like that. But then now you get somebody an electronic device and they start a YouTube channel and they start making a couple dollars, whether it be small, medium, or large, their self-inflated image and personality becomes magnified. I realize that, but I'm not talking about all the content creators. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. I'm talking about the ones that we're talking about today. The ones that we're going to talk about today. And let me explain to you how I don't sneak this. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. You know I'm going to fly the kite out, right? No, I am. Yeah, I am going to fly the kite out and pin it to the top of the chat. I am. So we all can have a conversation. Even the 4 guys that I'm mentioning, they're more than welcome. Now, I know a few of them, they already told me directly and indirectly. They don't want to come over here. And thank you, Lead Hand Sports. Let me put this on the screen. We're going to get onto the show. This is if y'all don't know, if you're new to the channel, if this is your first time coming over, I spend just a few minutes after my intro go off, and then I do this. This is just me giving the introduction to the people. And then I'm going to welcome everybody in the house and all that. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just standing outside on the porch, just having a dialogue before you all come in the house. That's all. Let me put this up. Y'all see that on your screen right there? I'm going to read it to you. True media still talks about you every day, SMH. Hey, Lead Hand Sports, I had no idea that God talks about me on his platform and on his YouTube channel every day. I didn't know that. Had no idea. Didn't know that. But you want to hear something interesting about that, Lead Hand Sports? And the people that's in the chat, some of them that were here yesterday, they can attest to this. I actually picked up the phone and called the guy yesterday. Live, right here live in living color. I called him. And he didn't answer my call. Now, this is the thing, right? And then we're going to move on with the show. Why talk about a person every day on your channel when you were invited to go on that person's channel and you said publicly in front of thousands of people that you wouldn't even come on the platform? You talking about a guy behind his back, but then when he invites you to come over to say all of it in his presence, you decline. Let me reframe that. I invited True Media, the guy Coach Malachi, aka Coach Toby. I called in on his show live a couple months ago. He said that he don't want to come over here on my platform. I said, won't you come over here? Come here, because you're saying all this stuff about me, which I don't even know who you are. Never met you before, didn't know anything about you until people start showing me that you have a pet name for me called Manager Farty, Fanager, Marty, Janitor Farty, like all these little pet names like we in middle school or something. So I said, well, come over here. I mean, don't say it behind my back, brother. I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm inviting you to come on my channel so you and I can have a discussion. Yeah, a boxing related discussion. And then if you want to call me all them names, I'm cool with it, but come on over here. And the guy told me, no. You see what I'm saying? These guys have no honor. I mean, why be scared? It's just Manager Marty. I'm not nobody special. You know what I mean? Just come on over to the platform. I mean, I'll come over to your platform, but I don't think that's appealing to the people. It's not appealing to the people. That's not appealing. It's more appealing if you come over here. Because you talk about me every day, according to some people in the chat. So won't you come over here? That's more appealing. You talk about somebody, and then when they give you opportunity to come through, that's more appealing to people. People want to see more of that. But it's all good. We have an update on those guys, and we're going to get right into it. So now I'm going in the house. I said what I had to say on the porch to all of you. Now I'm going in the house, and I'm going to welcome each and every last one of you in, like right now. Welcome. everyone watching me live in living color, and those of you that are watching the replay of this live, I welcome you. If you are here for the first time, I encourage you to do two things. Please like this broadcast right now while you're sitting there now. You can do it now. It's all good. The information, the education and entertainment value that I provide on this channel will reverberate all across the world when you click the like button. And also you can subscribe to the channel. Okay? If you are a returning viewer and you are not a part of the Roll the Tape film crew, I welcome you as well. Please feel free to subscribe and be a part of the Roll the Tape film crew. If you are a part of the Roll the Tape film crew and you want to enhance your experience and enjoy perks on the channel, and you want to be promoted to a supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew, please feel free to join this channel as a member of the actual channel. I have several different tiers and benefits. All you got to do is join. You'll see all the 3 different levels and tiers and what they all offer as far as the perks. All right. Never before the scene, behind the scenes footage that I put out to only the supervisors of the Roll the Tape film crew before anyone else gets it. All the perks. I got some other perks too, but you know, once you join, you'll see. It's already detailed in the description of which level or tier you want to choose to basically enjoy the perks. All right. And if you are here because you are sent here by any of the 4 guys' names who were mentioned in this title, I welcome you as well. You're a supporter of any of those guys. It's all good. It's just YouTube, y'all. I welcome you. I got a challenge for you too later on. Go back and tell them everything I said, like you always do. And tell them to join me here. If they don't do it today, I'm here Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on over and tell them to come on through. And watch the replay of this live, so you won't miss nothing that I got to say about those guys. So tell them, go on over there now and tell them, matter of fact. Go on over there now and say, you know, Manager Marty got your name in this title. Go on over there now. And tell them when I drop the link in the chat, when I fly the kite in the chat, tell them to come over and join me here today. If they don't, then when I come back on live, they can always come back. I just got a question for all of those guys. That's all. Just a little question. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Just got a little question. Now that we got that out the way, let me acknowledge everybody that's in the chat right now. Salute. Welcome you. Thank you for engaging in the chat. We got a great show here today. But y'all know what we got to do first, right? We have to do this first. But here's the difference, though. We're not going to spend as much time as we typically do because the viewership is increasing exponentially. We have to get forward with our what? Town Watch check-in. And we got to do it right now. If you're here joining us for the first time and you don't know what a Town Watch check-in is, over here on this platform is very simple. Town Watch check-in, what I like to call a Town Watch check-in, is an opportunity for each and every last one of us here live in living color and those who are watching the replay of this live to be able to establish a foundation. When we check in, and when I say check in, I'm being very specific about geographical location, where you can insert in the chat live in living color your city, state, island, and or country that you represent, whether it be you were born and raised there or your location where you are today or where you reside today. I will publicly acknowledge it. And that is how we establish a foundation that even though we are all from different geographical locations, even though we disagree on different topics, even though we have different opinions and different points of views and different perspectives on the topics that we talk about here on this channel when it comes to the sport of boxing, we all can find solace in the fact that we have one thing in common that we share, and that is our love for the sports of boxing. So that's what our Town Watch check-in is. I'm going to start it off first. Everybody in the chat, come on. Y'all know how we do. Y'all going to check in as well. People that don't know what we do and how we do it, when they see it in the chat, they're going to follow behind you, and then everybody can check in. Listen, this is not mandatory. This is just an icebreaker. This is something that we do in the beginning of our shows majority of the time, and we want to do it now. I need the viewership here. Don't go nowhere now. Stay right here. Don't move. Stay right here. You're all welcome. I welcome everybody in the house. Come on and don't leave. Stay right here. We're going to have a great show today. Don't leave now. Don't leave now. You came over here because you saw the title, and I'm going to give you what you asked for. That's one thing about Manager Marty that we all can agree with. I give the people what you want. I give you what you asked for. When you want entertainment, I give it to you. When you want education, I give it to you. So don't leave. Stay right there. Let's do our Town Watch check-in real quick. Real quick. And then we're going to get on with what you really came here for. Fair enough? All right, cool. I'm representing the DFW area, the state of Texas, Arlington to be exact, Mansfield section to be even more specific, Tarrant County, stand up. I'm representing the entire state of Texas. I love Texas. Everybody knows that at this point. However, by way of my hometown, Philadelphia, the state of Pennsylvania to be exact, I'm representing Philly as well. That's my check-in. We need to hurry up and check in because we're going to give some results of Devin Haney jumping on that scale and Regis Prograis jumping on that scale. And then we get right in to the four guys named who are mentioned in the title. I just checked in. Where are you from? City, state, island, and or country? Let's get it in. Representing Sacktown, Sacramento, California. I see you in the chat, in the building. Let's check on in. Who else we got? Lucky, come on and check on in real quick. Chase, come on in. DC Drake, come on, let's check on in. Let's show the people what we do. Let's check on in. We got the check. If y'all don't want to check in, that's cool. We move right on. But I want us to check in real quick. Real quick now. We got two champions about to jump on the scale. And I want to make sure we check on in first. We got to check in first. I'm going to drop the link in the chat as well. I'm flying the kite right out there. Baltimore in the building. I see you. Come on and let's check on in. Anybody else want to check in? All right, nobody else want to check in? Cool. We're going to get right to the show. We're going to get right into it now. We going to get right into it. Devin Haney's about to check. Well, I can say check in. Devin Haney's about to check in. He about to check in on the scale. Shout out to Texas, his old stopping ground. I see you. Devin Haney about to step on the scale. We just going to get their weights real quick so we can keep the show pushing. Indeed. Indeed. Mm-hmm. Let's get it in. All right. We didn't have a check-in today. We're gonna move right along then. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move right along. Oh, let me put this up there real quick. See where we at. Put this up here one time. I'm just gonna put that up there real quick. Y'all seen this yesterday from Rick Glaser. We're gonna talk about something else when it comes to Rick Glaser. We're gonna talk about him in PBC, but it's another tweet, or they call it X now. Another tweet. We're gonna get into it. We gonna get into we gonna get into it. Salute, Detroit is in the building. I see you. Yeah. So anybody that want to check in, every time I see you check in, I'm just gonna rock out and say it publicly. You know what I'm talking about? Devin Haney just weighed in on the scale at 140 pounds, solid. Regis Prograis stepped on the scale. He weighs in at an even 139 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fight tomorrow evening. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it right now. All right, now we done with all that. I done told y'all what their weigh-in was, and now we off of that. Before I do all of that, y'all know what I gotta do first, right? I gotta show my face. We half hour in. We half hour in. We 27 minutes in. I definitely got to show my face. I'm a fly the kite in the chat real quick. What's up, Mini Face Publishing? I see you. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I have a challenge for each and every last one of you watching live in living color, and those of you that are watching the replay of this live. I have a challenge for you first before we get into the four guys whose name is in my title today. Why don't y'all start questioning people? So the challenge is, that's the question, and the challenge is, please start questioning people when they come out with false narratives. When you hear an agenda, when you hear a narrative, this is how you know it's a narrative. When people are giving their quote unquote observations without any evidentiary documentation. That's a narrative. There's nothing wrong with providing an observation. There's nothing wrong with providing an opinion. But when people talk like it's factual, people on YouTube, and I say people, I mean the boxing community, I'm talking about boxing fans, never challenge people who come out with false narratives. So my challenge to the boxing community, to boxing fans, is when you hear other people, it don't make a difference if they're content creators or not, specifically content creators, who's pushing an agenda or a false narrative, why not y'all challenge them? For example, when people say, sources say, my sources told me, I have a source. Ask them who the source is. Ask them, who is your source? You say that you have a plug. Who is the plug? You say you heard first-hand information about this subject matter. Who did you hear it from? Ask them. You have a right, if you're providing viewership and especially contributions with your time and your financial resources, you have a right and an obligation to ask the content creator, where did you get this information from? Who is your source? Question them. That goes for me as well. If you're viewing me and you're providing a contribution of your time, especially your financial and monetary resources to support this platform, you have a right and an obligation to ask me any questions you want regarding boxing, especially if you hear me give my quote unquote opinion, or if I'm telling you I have information or I have a source that told me firsthand knowledge of a particular subject matter. Why not question the people that have these narratives? So that's first and foremost. I'm challenging the boxing community first. Question them. They don't have to have a YouTube channel. They can be a journalist working for or employed by a major network. Tweet them. Inbox them, DM them, ask them when they say sources told me. Ask them, who is your source? I'm just saying, ask. There's a proverb that I want to share. You know, I give spiritual and godly principles on this platform. I don't do it every single segment, but every now and then I do, and today is one of those days. You're going to hear me use several different spiritual principles that everybody can apply in their daily life, right? Now, open rebuke is better than secret love. Let me say that again. Open rebuke is better than secret love. It's a proverb. It's a life principle we all can apply. And so the reason why I'm doing this publicly, the rebuke of these four gentlemen that you see in your title, is better than secret love. Not only that, not only that, but they earned it because they publicly come out and they have pushed an agenda of false narratives. So if you publicly do something and someone have to rebuke you, the same way that you do it, that's the same way the consequence gonna roll down the hill. So let's say if you lie on somebody, like when Blue Blood Sports TV lied on me publicly. Y'all remember that? He lied on me publicly, and he said that I flagged his channel. By right, even though he knew he was lying, and even though most of y'all knew he was lying, most people did not challenge him. Most people, because of the influence that he has on YouTube in the boxing sphere, believe that man and have called me all kind of humiliating names and insults behind the lie that this man told on my character. That was done publicly. Now, by right, what should have happened if he had integrity and courage and honor as a man is he should have came right back publicly, because that's the same way he put it out there. He should have came back publicly, and once I addressed it, he should have came back publicly, because that's how he presented it, and said, you know what, Manager Marty did not flag my channel. I was wrong. I publicly apologize to that man. That's what should have happened in real life when we talk about being honorable. But that's not what happened. So my point is, when you do something publicly, when you say something publicly, you are going to have to address it publicly. I'm going to give another example, and then I'm going to let my guy Lump come on. He was in the background right now. Rick Glaser made a statement publicly about the PBC on X. He tweeted, y'all saw this yesterday when you were here. He tweeted that the PBC and Amazon Prime deal, his words, not mine. You see it on your screen. He said it's only a pay-per-view distribution and marketing deal. That's what he said. But the vice president, Marie Donahue, the vice president of U.S. sports content and partnerships through Amazon, she said, it's on your screen, with live coverage of PBC action throughout the calendar year, Prime Video continues to bring viewers in the United States and around the world the best in sports. Right? So, the illustration remains. Rick Glaser came out publicly and he gave the boxing community and boxing fans the impression that the deal between PBC and Amazon Prime is mediocre. And he did that to discredit Al Heyman. But he put out and presented a false narrative because it's going to be live coverage of boxing on Amazon Prime or Prime Video, just like Thursday Night Football is live, right? But Rick Glaser tried to malign the people to discredit Al Heyman, you know, by undermining the deal and saying, hey, it's the only thing y'all going to see on Amazon Prime with PBC is just pay-per-view fights, and that's it. Come on, bro. So because he publicly said that, everybody who saw that tweet, whether it be live or later on or from this channel, have an obligation and a right to go back to Rick Glaser and challenge him and say, now that PBC and Amazon Prime put the statement out a day or two after you did, you have to come out publicly with honor and integrity and say that you were wrong. That's facts. Double salute to my guy, Many Face Publishing. Thank you for your contribution and your support of the channel. Many Face Publishing says, remember, it's about who you like in the media and narratives. As long as people like you, what you say, they run with just to have a narrative. You ain't never lied, Many Face. That's facts too. As long as a person is liked, their narrative is going to continue to drive the media and desensitize the boxing community to the truth. And at some point, the truth has to be revealed. I'm going to let my guy Lump come on because he wanted to give his take on the Devin Haney Regis Prograis fight. He missed our last broadcast where we gave our breakdown and our prediction of what we think as boxing fans is going to take place in the fight between Regis and Devin Haney tomorrow. They just got on the scales for all of the new viewers that are live and live in color. Devin Haney, he weighed in at a solid 140 pounds. And Regis, he weighed in at a solid 139 pounds. These guys are in tip-top shape. The fight is on. What's going on, my brother Lump?
What's going on, Mr. Marty, Manager Marty, into the chat? Everything is good, man. Blessed by the best. Always.
Oh man, we're glad to finally have you here. Oh yeah, one of the last times you was here, you gave your analysis of the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight
I
as
want you to notice
we.
something, though. I want you to notice. I want you to notice something.
I see.
Oh, okay.
That's Errol Spence, right?
That's who it is.
That's who
I,
it
I
is.
told you. I told you when I'm loyal, I'm loyal.
We were
Win, lose, or
together.
draw. Win, lose, or draw. I got his shirt on. I don't know
That's
if you can
right.
see it. All right.
Yeah, we were together. The audience might not remember who you are, so I'm trying to give you a proper introduction. We were together
Hmm.
on that day, the day of the fight. Matter of fact, the day of the fight, we
Yes.
linked up on the day of the fight, and then I brought you onto the live broadcast
Hmm.
when we did our when we came through and did the live broadcast of our breakdown of the fight, the day of the
Hmm.
fight when we were in Las Vegas, right?
Right. Right.
And and um and I want to ask you a question, and I want to get your analysis of this fight. There's a guy on YouTube. Nobody really knows who he is. The man only got like 100 subscribers, but a friend of mine sent me a clip that he did on me. You know these guys. You know these guys be throwing shots at me, lump, from all over the place. Smaller channels
Well,
than mine, bigger
everybody,
channels
you
than
know how
mine.
it is.
You know,
Everybody
you know
reaches.
how it
Everybody
is.
reaches for the top, man.
Oh, you know how it is.
You know how it
These
is.
guys, these guys have been unprovoked by me. You know, I
Hmm.
didn't say nothing about these guys, but they come all out of the woodwork, right? There's a
Hmm.
guy, he lied on me. And it bothers me when people be lying on me, but I was actually laughing at this one. You were with me in Vegas on the day of the fight, and this guy on YouTube, I think he's a Crawford fan. He lied and said that he saw me at the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight, and he walked up to me and he said, "You a lame ASSNIGGA." With all due respect, you were with me all day. Do you recall anybody disrespecting me or walking up to me in my face saying anything of the sort, lump?
If you ain't lying, and that never happened, then that guy's lying, ain't he? He's lying. No, nothing. I mean, I hung out with you maybe what 90% of the time, and that never happened from nobody. So I don't know
Everybody
what he's
showed me
talking
love out
about.
there, right, lump?
Yes, they did, including myself when I first met you on the Thursday.
See?
Yeah.
So my thing is, and I'm not, and here's the thing, lump, you know me. I'm not here trying to act like I'm a tough guy or none of that.
No, no.
Men know what it is with me, and so do the ladies. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying is, when you got these guys lying, it's like, once again, he said, proving my point. This is why I'm bringing it up, lump. The guy said that he saw me and said all that stuff to me. He said it publicly. Now, if he would have said it privately to somebody and they just told me, I'd be like, oh, all right, I don't care. But he said
Mhm.
it publicly. And so, once again, it proves my point. When you say things publicly, some people should have the right to come out publicly to use the same public forum that you use and discredit your lies when you lying. That's just what I'm saying, bro. That's
Mhm.
all I'm saying. As men, though, as men, we have women
Mhm.
that watch this channel and support this channel all across the world. I just want to make sure, as
Mhm.
men, we understand that we got to carry with honor. We got to carry things with integrity, man. You know, but we'll deal with that a little later with the four guys we're going to talk
Yeah.
about. So Devin Haney is fighting Regis Prograis 140. They done weighed in today, just about 10 minutes ago. Both of them look like they're in tip-top shape, especially Devin Haney. The man
Mhm.
he looked like a 140-pound Hercules right now. Um, these guys look like they're in tip-top shape. They both say they're going to knock each other out. You know boxing very well, Lump. You're like a boxing
Well, thank you. I
encyclopedia, man.
appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, man. You're welcome. What's your take on this fight, bro?
My take on this fight is it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be competitive. I think it's gonna be maybe neck and neck going into maybe the fifth or sixth round. But I see, as far as if it was me, if I was Regis Prograis and I was fighting somebody that tall that comes from 135 pounds, I would fight dirty. And the reason why I would is because I want to send a message to Devin Haney and his camp and his father that like Regis Prograis said, I'm here to fight. I'm not here to box. So I would do everything outside the realm of boxing to get underneath his skin. But after the referee would warn me and say, "This is your final warning," give me a hard warning and say, "This is your final warning," I would stop. But I would send a message to him. Then I would attack his body. You got to get in. You got to get into his body. Somebody that long, that tall, you got to get into his body. You're going to pay a toll, but it's like crossing a bridge. You're going to pay a toll if you want to cross the bridge. If he wants to go to the place where he wants to go, he has to win this fight. And he has to win this fight convincingly because Devin Haney is the favorite. And Devin Haney is more of a Eddie Hearn fighter than Regis Prograis is. So if the fight is close, Devin's going to get the nod, not Regis, because they can make money. They can make more money off of Regis than Prograis. That's my take.
You mean they can make more money off of Haney than they can do?
I mean Haney. They can make more money off of Haney. Haney is more marketable. He has a common name. Regis Prograis he comes from Louisiana, so he has kind of a his name is not common. Devin Haney, you heard about Devin Haney. And the only reason that we know about Regis is because of the fight with Josh Taylor and Muhammad Ali trophy that they won, that Josh Taylor won by beating Prograis in that tournament. So if Regis wants to go and climb to the next step, he has to win this fight. And if he can knock Devin Haney down or knock Devin Haney out, then he will become not the face of boxing, but maybe the forehead of boxing, I guess. You know what I mean? Because right now, Gervonta Davis at 140 is the face of that division, that division. So, but Regis can do himself a favor if he wins this fight Saturday. But in my estimation, I think Devin Haney footwork, his boxing IQ, his length, and where he's coming from, I think it's going to be an uphill climb for Regis. Not saying he can't do it, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard hill to climb for Regis. You know, and if it's close, like I said, if it's close, Haney's going to get the nod. So Regis is going to have to put some work in every second of every round, and don't leave nothing to chance. If Devin Haney, if he tries to take the last 10 seconds of the round, you take the last 20 seconds of the round. You don't let him do that. You don't let him back you up. You back him up, because the optics, when you have a smaller man backing up a taller man, it speaks volumes to the smaller man backing that big man up. And that's what Regis has to do. Regis has to dictate the fight, dictate the pace, the speed. He has to dictate the power. He has to dictate every aspect of the fight to win that fight on Saturday. That's what I believe.
You said it's going to be an uphill battle for Regis. Why?
Yes.
Why is it going to be an uphill battle for him?
Because Devin Haney is a good boxer. He doesn't have the pop, but he has speed. He has speed. He has timing. He can throw punches and bunches. He has a better, just all around boxing skill than Regis does. But what Regis has is will and heart and power. So if Regis fights with his head, if he fights with his head, he could win the fight and fight with his heart when the fight gets hard. When points in the fight, when the fight gets hard, he fights with his heart. He can get through, because there's peaks and valleys in all boxing matches. It's just that as you have to overcome the peaks and valleys in a fight. But Regis has more of a disadvantage than Regis have more disadvantage than Haney does. So he has to overcome a whole lot more. That's what I believe. But I believe he can do it. But if I was a betting man, which I am, I would put my money on Devin Haney.
Well, speaking of betting, Regis is a huge underdog at a
Yeah,
plus 300 right now.
yeah, yeah.
I've already gave my breakdown, so I'm not gonna repeat it because some people already heard it. But I will tell you, I totally agree with everything you said, man. Especially the part where you talked about the the advantages that Devin Haney has. I mean, Devin Haney has a 4-inch reach advantage over Regis. He's
Hmm.
been on this stage several times before, including in his last fight, which was his biggest fight of his career against an older but still sharp Vasily Lomachenko. So that experience is going to carry him when he gets in those peaks and valleys,
Hmm.
as you mentioned before. Devin Haney also has another advantage. And most people don't want to speak on it. Hold on, let me get my guy Many Face Publishing again. Double salute to you again, Many Face, for your contribution and your support to the channel. Regis got to hit Haney hard early to gain respect. Totally agree with that. And
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm.
actually,
That's what I'm saying.
and I
Exactly.
actually, excuse me, and I also spoke on that as well in my breakdown because Regis got to bend his knees, keep his head off the line. He has to
Hmm.
move his head, bend those knees, get on the inside, and attack Devin Haney's body early. And he got to
Hmm.
touch him up early. You know, if he think he's going to go in there and just rough up Devin Haney, he has another thing coming to him, straight up. He's not going to be able to just go in there and press the action and back Devin Haney up as easily as him and his strength and conditioning coach keep saying. That's not going to happen because while he's advancing, Devin Haney's going to pop that jab just like that over and over again. And I also predicted that within 4 or 5 rounds, Regis Prograis' nose will start bleeding profusely by the jab of Devin Haney. And there's another advantage. I know nobody want to speak on it, Lump, but there's another advantage that Devin Haney has, and we got to keep it all the way 100. Since I've been talking about integrity and honesty all day today, double salute to the Queen Sheena. I see you in the chat, sweetheart. Always good to see you. And I gotta put the guy on the screen that's weird. Matter of fact, I can put him on the screen. This is Shakur Stevenson. Even he's wearing the paraphernalia. Huh? Huh? Another guy wearing it. Terrence Bud Crawford. I'm talking about the SNAC program. Devin Haney has the advantage of the SNAC program. I have Band Up in the chat. I know Band Up don't want to hear this. But the truth has to be revealed. Devin Haney's on the SNAC program. I mean, look at his body at the weigh-in. The young man looked like 140 pounds of Hercules, baby. He just looks good. Many Face Publishing, double salute to you again for your contribution. The SNAC program. You see? Now, I got to say this now, Lump, because you wasn't here. You were not here now. You wasn't here, Lump. So people were saying the same thing that you see on your screen right now, Lump. You see that on your screen, Lump?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah, they say SNAC didn't work for Boo Boo. It didn't work for Plant or
Or
our
J-Rock.
hometown fighter, J-Rock. So
Mhm.
because the person said our hometown, I would have to assume that the person's from the great city of Philly. But I want to say something. Terrence Crawford already told us. He told us already, okay? He told us why Caleb Plant lost. He told us why Andre lost. He told us why J-Rock lost when they were on the SNAC program and they lost. Terrence Bud Crawford, weeks ago, he said there are different programs. Yes, Sheena, that's where I'm getting to. There are different programs for different fighters. He said, I use certain things that other fighters don't use. And so Terrence Crawford told us weeks before the Andre fight that basically they're not using the same program. So I recommend all the guys that was in the chat mentioned by J-Rock, Boo Boo Andre, Plant, and everybody else, stop using the basic SNAC program. You have to use the certain things that Crawford used, and you won't lose on the SNAC. And I believe that Devin Haney is using the certain things that Crawford uses. And that's why he has a great advantage. Well, that's one of the reasons why he have a great advantage in this fight, because I definitely believe he can beat Regis Prograis even if he's not on the SNAC program. Just me personally, alone, because Devin Haney's a special fighter. Got that special treatment, and Devin Haney was one of the few pioneers of the SNAC program. He's been on the SNAC program for years now, and so I know he has the special treatment, just like Crawford. You know what I mean? And we got to keep it real. Now, y'all can say I'm insinuating and all of this. There's nothing to insinuate. Crawford himself told y'all there's different programs for different fighters. So if you lose on the SNAC program, maybe you should get on the program that Bud is on. Now, we appreciate Lump's participation. We have a show to move forward in that has nothing to do with Devin Haney. That has nothing to do with the SNAC program, and it definitely does not have nothing to do with Regis Prograis. Let's start this out by talking. We got to do this, y'all. Sheena, I know that you came here representing the ladies, and I know, some ladies don't want to hear the semantics and drama from men, because I don't like it. I like good dialogue, debates. I like stuff like that. But when it comes to like banter, like men gossiping and all, I'm not with none of that. Okay? But we have to deal with the realities. People have to be held accountable when they come out publicly with information. They just do. And I'm going to hold them accountable because I can. And they're not going to come over here anyway. I'd be surprised if any of them come over here. And let's be clear of who I'm talking about, because I don't sneak diss people. When I say something about somebody, especially on YouTube, I call them by name. No, not you, Sheen. I'm not saying you, gossip girl. No, girl, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about grown men when they gossip. I'm talking about like they be, the YouTubers. Yeah, they talk about other guys, but they don't want to say it to the guy's face. Like with Coach Malachi and Blue Blood and the rest of these guys do when it comes to me. Rick Glaser too. He went on Twitter about me. Stuff like that. World Combat Sports, him too. These guys, they sneak diss and do all this, throwing shots at me, but then they don't want to come over here and see me on YouTube and speak on it and have a discussion with me. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we got to deal with it today. We're going to start with Barbershop Conversation. We got to start with him first. Okay? Now, what I'm about to play for y'all, because I'm going to roll the tape on these guys. because I have a challenge for these guys. That's why I'm bringing this up if you're new to the viewership here. I want these guys to stand on it. That's what I want them to do. I want them to stand on it. You know, when I be talking about Terrence Crawford, and y'all keep saying, Manager Marty, you keep talking about the SNAC program, and you keep mentioning Bud Crawford. But here's the thing I respect about Terrence Bud Crawford. He stood on it. When he was asked about the SNAC program, he stood on it. I like that. That's what men's supposed to do. Stand on what you do. Stand on what you say as a man. And Terrence Crawford went over there with Victor Conti. He got on the SNAC program. And when he was asked about it by a reporter or a journalist, he said, I use certain things that other fighters don't use. There's different programs in the SNAC program for different fighters. He stood on why he went over there. I respect Bud Crawford for that. We got to stand on what we do. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Band up. You're right, band up. You're right, band up. Me and Blue Blood did see each other in Las Vegas. You're right. But he went on his platform and he lied again on me. And he basically told you, band up, and the rest of those audiences over there, that the things that I was proclaiming were not true of the things I said to the guy. You see what I'm saying? We got to stand on what we do. As a man, when you say something, you got to stand on it. When you wrong, you wrong. Stand on it. That's all I'm saying, y'all. This is not kindergarten. This is just basic life principles 101. Come on, y'all. Y'all know what's going on. So I'm going to roll the tape on Barbershop Conversation. I have a challenge for him. A very basic challenge for him. But I wanted to make sure that I roll the tape so y'all can hear with your own ears where all this is coming from and why. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew on your screen, you see Barbershop Conversation. That is him. That is his channel. That is the description of his channel. The date is also posted October the 3rd, 2023. The description says breaking news, PBC is going to an app in 2024 and fighters will get drastic pay cuts. Here are the words of Barbershop Conversation in the same video. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
Associates, you know, it is what it is. They got to pick up the phone when I call. I don't text. I don't incriminate them. I don't email. Well, I used to email them. I don't email no more. I call them. Hey, what's going on? Hey, this is what's going to happen. So, they're done. February, expect a rollout. Expect a rollout with Amazon Prime, which, you know, The fighters won't be getting paid much, but we'll see.
Stop. Stop right there. Stop right there, y'all. Did y'all hear what Barbershop Conversation said? That was October of 2023. He said the fighters won't be getting paid much. I have a question. Remember in the beginning of this broadcast, I said if you listen to a content creator who publicizes anything or a journalist, whether they're a content creator or not, you have a right to ask them who their sources are, and you have a right to ask them as a viewer, as a supporter. You can ask them, how do you know? Barbershop Conversation, y'all heard him. He undermined the deal by discrediting Al Heyman by saying, yes, PBC and Amazon Prime, they put a deal together and they're going to announce it. But the fighters will not get paid. They're going to take drastic pay cuts. The question becomes, how does he know that? How does Barbershop Conversation know that? This is a question that y'all need to go, I'm asking. Barbershop Conversation, how do you know that? If you say sources told you, Barbershop Conversation, I challenge you to name your sources. Because I'm not going to say that your sources didn't tell you that. But we are tired of hearing sources said, sources, no, ain't nobody hiding nothing no more. Who told you that? How do you know? The fighters haven't even fought one fight yet on Amazon Prime, and you're already telling the general public that they're going to be paid less or they're going to have drastic cuts in their compensation. How do you know that? It doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew. There's more that he said. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
He's a he's a successful man on paper, so he'll land somewhere. You know, the board just keeps shuffling. You know, when you're in that business, it's like a basketball player getting traded. Well, it just keeps shuffling itself. You know what I'm saying? But people want to lie, and I am the Oracle. I am him. Don't y'all understand that? I told you, summer 2023. Now in February, when Amazon Prime launches PBC, whatever they're gonna call it, I don't know. It's gonna be a strong rollout, and there's gonna be some fights, but the fighters ain't making no money. Al Heyman is a terrible businessman.
Did y'all hear that? The fighters are not going to make any money. Al Heyman is a terrible businessman. He also said his words, not mine, I am the Oracle. The Oracle of what? Once again, here we go again. Self-inflated image from these YouTubers. Get a little couple dollars, making some money, whether they make money on YouTube first or they made money before they got YouTube second, it don't make a difference. You see the self-inflated image of these guys when they jumped on a camera. You're the Oracle of what? I'm asking Barbershop Conversation this question. This is what the real boxing fans, this is what they really want to know. Some of them don't have a platform to ask you. I do, so I'm going to ask you. The Oracle of what? I am him. That's what he said. Barbershop Conversation says, I am the oracle, I am him. That's what he said. You're the oracle of what? I am him. I thought we were talking about boxing. How are we talking about you? It's not about you. It's supposed to be about boxing, right? He said Al Heyman is a bad businessman. Hey, if that's his opinion, I think everybody should be entitled to an opinion. Here's the issue I have with you, with that. Have you ever done business with Al Heyman? So how do you know if he's a bad businessman or not? You haven't done any business with the guy, personally or professionally, but you're telling the public that Al Heyman is a bad businessman. The last time we all checked the business history of Al Heyman, seemed like he's a good businessman to me. And I'm a businessman, and I can see when something is good and when something's not. People in my chat, people in the comment section, people watching all across the world, some of them are businessmen and women. They know when something's good or something bad in business is. Things I've seen Al Heyman do overall has been good business. Why don't nobody question these guys? And then when I question them, I'm a hater. Well, I'm going to be a hater today then. These guys have to be held accountable. When you say something publicly without any evidence or evidentiary documentation, you are susceptible to be asked questions like, A, who are your sources? B, how do you know Al Heyman is a bad business person? C, what do you mean by you're the oracle, I am him? You're so full of yourself. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. It's not about you. Or is it about you? I think it is about you. Barbershop Conversation. I do. I thought your title was talking about PBC. Why are you talking about you? I don't know his content. I don't know what he be talking about. I haven't been on this guy. I don't know. All I do know is that a lot of these guys are full of themselves, being self-centered. It's not that important. Okay, you make money. And? Okay, you ain't the only one that make money, whether it be millions or thousands. What's the beef with Al Heyman? Another question. What's the since you don't have any history of doing business with Al Heyman yourself, what's the issue between you and Al Heyman? Because I'm hearing things. I'm hearing that you're a relative of Sam Watson. I don't want to confirm or deny that. But my point is, what's the issue with you and Al Heyman, where you got to go and publicly humiliate the guy and say he's a bad businessman when you never did business with him? You see, once again, for those that say I'm hating, I'm going to show you on my screen. Salute to you, Sheena. Thank you. Even, once again, what did I just tell y'all? The fans of boxing want to know these things. So I'm not just asking for myself. I'm echoing the sentiments of the fan base of boxing. What is Fred's issue with Al Heyman? Jealousy? That's from a woman. A woman asked that question. I am him. So you are who? What that got to do with boxing? Nothing. Nobody cares about how much money you got. It's not important, bro. No one cares. But see, what happens is people are insecure, so they have to overcompensate. And that's why most of these guys do what they do. And it's okay. That's how you run your channel. Cool. But you're publicly saying things with no evidence. So now you are being susceptible to be asked questions that you need to publicly answer. How do you know the fighters ain't going to make no money? That's his words, not mine. Y'all just heard him. How do you know that? You haven't conducted one business transaction in this sport. How do you know? It don't stop with him. It don't stop with him at all. Moving right along. This was a screenshot that I captured from World Combat Sports. Y'all remember who World Combat Sports is? He's the guy that somehow, some way created a beef with me for no reason. And I thought me and Scotty was cool. But he created a beef with me. I assume because of the unfavorable things to Bud Crawford fans that I have said on YouTube, which I had evidence of everything I said, and it all came true when I told Terrence Crawford to sign with Al Heyman, and he did that. When I told Terrence Crawford to sign a multi-fight deal with PBC, he did that. And guess what? Terrence Bud Crawford is going to be fighting on Prime Video. Y'all don't think Al Heyman knew that they was going to find a new home before we knew that Showtime was going to close their doors? Y'all don't think that Al Heyman knew that already? Why you think he went and signed Canelo? Why you think he went and signed Crawford? Come on, y'all. That gave him leverage to go over to Prime Video and say, let me take this off the screen so y'all can understand the business of boxing. That gave Al Heyman leverage to go over to Prime Video. Let me take my glasses off and educate you now. Listening to these, don't listen to these guys. They ain't never conduct a transaction in this business. Take it from the people that have. Al Heyman used that for leverage when he was negotiating with Amazon Prime. Now, somebody can say, Marty, you don't have no proof of that. You're right. Let me give you the proof that I do have. In the negotiations, I'd be very surprised if Al Heyman did not make an appeal to the executives at Amazon Prime to show them, which he can, that I have the 5 top pay-per-view stars in boxing on my roster. I talked about this yesterday now. I have Canelo Alvarez on my roster. And y'all see how much he generated. I have Terrence Crawford on my roster. I have Errol Spence Jr. on my roster. I have Tank Davis on my roster. And I have Deontay Wilder on my roster. And all 5 of these fighters fight under the banner of PBC. And they all can sell pay-per-views. They all have large fan bases for the live gates. Huh? Don't let me talk about the ancillary rights. Don't let me talk about the site fees. Don't let me talk about the licensing fees. See, I'm saying language that these 4 guys that's in this title know nothing about. Rick Glaser know about it, but he's scared and jealous to tell the truth about how it works. So he mislead the people. We got something for Rick in a minute. Don't worry about it. I got something for him next. All of these guys that publicly come out and speak bad against PBC and Al Heyman, I want them to come out now and show the people that Al Heyman and PBC got the deal done. 200 and something million subscribers that Amazon Prime have. I'm not here talking about I'm going to project how many people are going to buy into the pay-per-views. I'd be a fool to do that. I'm not here to project how many people are going to view the live coverage that PBC is going to have under Prime Video. That ain't my job. I'll leave that to guys like Barbershop Conversation. But what I'm going to do is talk about the accessibility of a casual audience. It's the same gameplay that the NFL run on Thursday night footballs. Come on, y'all. Basic Business 101. Moving right along. Now, World Combat Sports, back to him. I don't know how we started. I don't know how we had an issue. Never had a problem with the guy. Never, not once. Until when? He started making videos sneak dissing me, putting my government name in his titles. Come on, bro. Because I say something about Crawford that was true in the first place? This before SNAC, y'all. So this is not, oh, you just, the reason why this happened because of SNAC program. No, no, no. This is way before the SNAC program even was brought up. Or was it because I checked his homeboy, Rick Glaser, and now he wanted to insert himself in a beef that really had nothing to do with him? These are facts. Now all of a sudden, it's not a big deal. You see it on your screen. Oh, PBC and Prime Video, whoop-de-doo. It's not a big deal. Yes, it is. It's a big deal. I'm going to tell you why it's a big deal. Because you were one of the ones, World Combat Sports, that made it a big deal. When you were saying unfavorable things about Al Heyman and PBC. Weeks before we knew, months before we knew, days before we knew that Showtime was going to close their doors. Double salute to you, Queen 2 Cents Boxing. Thank you for gifting somebody a membership to this channel. So that's why it's a big deal. It's a big deal because PBC and Al Heyman have been discredited for years. Y'all kept saying PBC broke. PBC ain't got no money. And then guess what PBC did? They facilitated a deal to go sign Canelo Alvarez. They facilitated the deal to go and sign Terrence Crawford. They facilitated the deal to make Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, one of the biggest fights in many years in the sport, materialize. Come on now. Let's talk about it. So yeah, it is a big deal. Oh, don't say it's not a big deal now because it's starting to become an announcement. Now it's official. Now all of a sudden, oh, it's not a big deal. Yeah, I agree. Boxing Minister of Boxing Violations, Crawford don't sell. He don't. We know that before he came to Al Heyman. We know that. I said that yesterday. You're right. He gonna sell now. His demand is higher now. His leverage is increased now, is the point I'm making about Crawford. You see that? Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Now, this is another screenshot that I took off of World Combat Sports page. Don't hate on me, y'all. Don't get mad if you cool with these guys. Don't get mad at me. I'm spitting facts. You can get mad at me, but I'm just saying, yeah, if they can publicly come out and speak against something when the opposite occurs, like an official announcement between PBC and Amazon Prime, they got to use that very same platform that they use to discredit PBC and Al Heyman. They got to use that same platform to announce it and become official by saying, hey, the deal got done and we're boxing fans, so it's all good. Huh? But if you're just a fan of one fighter, I see where you can get tangled up in the confusion. No, become a boxing fan. This is good for boxing. That's why it's a big deal. And here's the crazy thing about it. World Combat Sports is an avid Terrence Bud Crawford fan, which is nothing wrong with that. But your favorite fighter went over to the same guy that you criticizing, Al Heyman and PBC. Talk to me. Huh? Talk to me. Now, I'm going to roll the tape on him. And in this clip, which is on your screen, World Combat Sports said on October the 24th, 2023, this is nearly a few weeks after Barbershop Conversation did his video, same month, same year, stay with me. Breaking PBC investigation is ordered for a boxing network eliminator by the end of November. Let's hear what World Combat Sports had to say in this very video that I published the description on your screen. Give me a second, y'all. I'm rolling the tape. All right, I queued up the tape. October 24th, 2023. These are the words of World Combat Sports regarding PBC. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to get some pay for this, man. Goddamn, healthcare is expensive. Copay ain't no joke. Come on, McGruff, come up with a plan. That's what I told him. I said, McGruff, you got to come up with a plan. You know what I'm saying? We fucking humans, man. We can't stay out in this cold like this the whole end of the year now, trying to figure out what the fuck PBC is going to do for these fights. What happened to being proactive? What happened to the P's that I talk about, Al? WCS talk about the P's. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. I talk about the P's all the time. But I think you busy concerned about OPP. That's all. I think Al is more concerned about OPP. You down with OP? Yeah, you know, Al is down with that shit.
All right, you heard him. All right. That was World Combat Sports, October 24th, 2023. I have a question for World Combat Sports now, since Al Heyman is down with OPP. He's referring to other people's money when he say that. When Bob Arum was in negotiations with ESPN, you know, when Top Rank was in negotiations with ESPN, don't they have to receive OPP or ESPN's money? when ESPN pays the promoter a licensing fee to have the product, the boxers, perform on their platform? That's not good enough. Okay. Second question. When Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions, when they were in negotiations with DAZN, don't they have to receive OPP or DAZN's money, the licensing fee that they charge DAZN to allow their product, the fighters, to fight on their platform too? Okay. What about Matchroom? You know, Eddie Hearn's promotional company. When he goes to negotiate a deal with DAZN, doesn't he require OPP, DAZN's money, when he charged them a licensing fee so his product, the fighters that he promote, can render their services on DAZN's platform too? Why is it just Al Heyman? All the managers and promoters do that. It's a part of the business. So why is World Combat Sports only criticizing Al Heyman? Well, the first reason I know right off the bat is because World Combat Sports don't understand the business of boxing. And there's nothing wrong with not understanding. That's why he gave me the credit that he gave me publicly when I met him in Atlanta, Georgia. And he had his pen and his pad taking notes when I was breaking down the business to him, free of charge. So there's nothing wrong with not knowing the business. But how you speaking on something you don't know nothing about? Because now you're maligning the people. Because anybody can come out after hearing that and say, Al Heyman is about OPP. He's not a good business person. You see my point? So because World Combat Sports publicly put that out there, we have a responsibility now to ask these questions. And we need answers publicly. The same way you rendered that publicly, all of y'all, Barbershop Conversation, World Combat Sports, Rick Glaser, and Coach Toby, all of you need to render a public statement and back up your claims that y'all been saying all this time when y'all was influencing the people, the boxing community, to believe that Al Heyman is a bad businessman, PBC is broke, blasey, blasey, blasey. That was from World Combat Sports. So I showed you Barbershop Conversation. I showed you World Combat Sports. Now I'm going to show you Rick Glaser. I showed you yesterday about Rick Glaser, but there was a new piece of documentation on Rick Glaser that came across my cell phone earlier today from a friend of mine's. And I wanted to share it all with you. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Here's the thing. Y'all don't need to hate. If you're really fans of boxing, like y'all keep claiming you are, you know, content creators, y'all keep saying y'all fans of boxing. So if you're a fan of boxing, what difference does it make what Al Heyman is doing? As long as they're doing a good job paying the fighters what the fighters deserve and earn, and then providing content and good entertaining fights for the boxing fans. Because those are the two things that Al Heyman is known for. I mean, y'all heard Rick Glaser tell y'all right on this channel when he was debating me that Al Heyman's fighters get paid too much. They're getting overpaid. So that means that Al Heyman has been generously paying the fighters that's under his banner. That's an honorable thing. But the man is still getting criticized, and so is his practices at PBC that's been totally successful since 2015. Now look at your screen. This was a tweet that came across my phone earlier today, and I'm getting tongue-tied. I underlined the most important parts. Excuse me. This is from Rick Glaser's Twitter account. on January the 24th, 2024. Excuse me, January 24th, 2020. This was nearly 4 years ago. Let's read what Rick Glaser had to say about PBC and Amazon. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Let's roll the tape. Amazon, really? In a product such as PBC that is way underwater since its inception in March 2015? Not happening. Y'all see that? You see that, right? The man said that Amazon is not going to invest in a product like the PBC that's been underwater since its inception in March 2015. That's when the PBC was launched. He said it was not happening. He said that on January the 24th, 2020. But here's what Rick Glaser said the other day. This is what he said the other day. You see that? You see? Rick Glaser, I have a question for you now. Since you publicly said that on January 24th, 2020, and then you publicly said what you said in a new tweet the other day, I have a question for you. When you heard the news and it became official that PBC inked the deal with Amazon Prime, why didn't you come back out to the same public that you brought all of this tweet about in 2020? Why didn't you come out in front of the public, that same audience, and say, I was wrong? I said it was not happening, but I was wrong. I said Amazon would never do a deal with PBC. I was wrong. Because PBC was a product that was way underwater since its inception in March 2015. Why didn't you come out, Rick Glaser, and have honor and integrity 4 years later on Twitter and come back and say, my bad, I was wrong? I said this 4 years ago that it wasn't happening. I said 4 years ago that the PBC has been sinking since its inception in 2015. But from 2015 to right now today, PBC hasn't been sinking. PBC been rising to the occasion. In fact, PBC, along with the other promoters that they work with in the last 10 years, or 9.5 years thus far, have put on the biggest fights. Bigger than ESPN, bigger than DAZN, and I'm saying ESPN through Top Rank. I'm saying DAZN through Golden Boy Promotions. I'm saying DAZN sort of with Matchroom, because Matchroom do a good job. But the biggest fights have been through PBC. Since its inception of March 2015 to today. You see, these guys have no honor. And they should be held accountable because they're publicly saying this. It's not like they're in a private conversation saying this and somebody's leaking the audio. No, they're publicly saying this on Twitter. They're publicly getting in front of a camera on YouTube saying this. Why not use your right? Why not exercise your right as a viewer, as a supporter of the channels of theirs, of a fan of boxing? Y'all say y'all boxing fans, right? So why not exercise your right to ask these guys questions when they say all this stuff? That's why I'm asking the questions, because I want to know the answers to it. I understand, Cash Crypto, that people with no integrity don't care about honor. I understand that. But that's why most of them have a problem with me. They're a bunch of haters. They hating on a man's success. They are. They hating on Al Heyman and PBC. It's very clear. I don't care if they hate on them. I'm just saying, if y'all spitting the false narrative out that influences your audience, you should be called out for it because you're doing it publicly. I have a challenge for all of them at the end of this. We're not done. We have one more. We have one more guy. This guy that I'm going to bring up next, as I was doing research on what he said about PBC, I came across in the same video. Now remember, y'all, I ain't said nothing about Coach Toby. I ain't say nothing about Coach Malachi. I ain't say nothing bad about True Media. Since that whole thing when I called him on the phone, when he was tap dancing for the white man, Rick Glaser. But when I was trying to conduct my due diligence, I came across not just this. And I'm going to play the audio from this on October 20th, 2023. But in this same live video that he did, he came right out of nowhere, to my surprise, and he put this on his screen, y'all. I ain't said nothing about this clown, but this is what he put up there. We know that he gave me a pet name, Janitor Farty. We know he's referring to me. Now, if he called me that, I would not respond to it because that's not my name. But you see what he did in that same live on October the 20th, 2023. You see what I'm saying? He doing all of this, Janitor Farty, but he won't come over here to the platform and say it to me. He said he's using me to promote him. I don't even know why am I even part of the sweepstakes. I'm just a small YouTuber. I'm just a rookie on YouTube. I got the smallest channel than everybody else as far as subscribers. I guess my voice is louder than my subscriber base, right? I know, I understand. And 6,500 and some subscribers is nothing to sneeze at because I appreciate my support. I uplift the people that be in my chat. I uplift my subscribers. I uplift the Roll the Tape Film Crew members. I uplift those that support the channel. I don't look at numbers and say, I'm not where these guys are. I don't care about that. As long as y'all support me, as long as y'all learn something about the business and the sport of boxing that you haven't learned or known before you encountered this channel, I'm satisfied. That's all I'm saying. Let me take this off the screen because I want to, before I comment on it, I want to comment on somebody in the chat. Somebody asked me, what is my interest in PBC? I don't have a vested interest in PBC. I have a vested interest in honor and integrity. But I got a question for you, Bandel. You say a lot of unfavorable things about me in the chat sometimes, and I respect it. But I have a question for you, Bandel. Did you hear anything that World Combat Sports said just now that I played? Did you hear anything that Barbershop Conversation said that I just played? And one more question real quick. Did you see what Rick Glaser said in 2020 that I put on your screen? Just yes or no, Bandel. I just yes or no. Bandel, I'm asking you a question. I really want to hear your response in the chat. You asked me, what is my interest in PBC? Why do I spend so much time defending them? I'm not defending PBC. I'm defending honor and integrity. You didn't? Okay, so Bandel, you didn't hear? Okay, no problem. No problem. You didn't hear anything. Okay. I don't want to replay it because then everybody else we'll have to wait and hear it all over again. But I'm going to show you something on your screen. I'm going to show you that, Bandel. Real quick, Bandel. Can you see that on your screen? Just yes or no in the comments section. I just want to make sure you can see that on your screen. Did you see that? That's from Rick Glaser, January 24th, 2020. I actually underlined it so it could be easy to be read. Amazon, really? And the products such as PBC that is way underwater since its inception in March 2015? Not happening. Do you see that, Bandel? Yes, sir. Great. He said, y'all see that on the screen. Bandel said he sees that. Okay, great. Okay, now I have a question for you. Let me take this off the screen here. I have a question for you, Bandel. You asked me, why am I interested? No, you asked me, what is my interest in PBC and why am I defending them? I said, I don't have a vested interest and I'm defending honor. We're broadcast journalists, right? Content creators? Okay. Because there is false narratives that influence the boxing community. And then in turn, with the boxing community that's being misled and influenced by these people, they come over here in my comment section. They come over here in my chat. They come over in my comment section on my published content. And you know what they do? They start throwing shots at me because they're listening to guys like them when I'm the one trying to educate and they're discrediting the education. That's what this is about. Now I have a question for you, Bandel. Since you asked about my interest in PBC, did you ask Rick Glaser what was his disinterest in PBC? And why he's not defending the business of boxing when PBC does something right for the sport of boxing? Did you ask Rich Glaser that? A question about his disinterest in PBC? I'm just asking Bandel. That was the question for Bandel. Let me catch the audience up to speed. So Bandel says, Manager Marty, what is your interest in PBC? I said, I don't have a vested interest in PBC. He said, why you spend so much time defending PBC? I said, I'm not defending PBC. I'm defending honor. I'm defending integrity. We're all broadcast journalists as quote unquote content creators, right? So if they publicize a false narrative that affects me and affects my audience, why not call them out on it? Why not hold them accountable publicly? There's an old proverb that says, open rebuke is better than secret love, right? So now my question to you, Banda, and we're still waiting. Since you asked me about my interest in PBC, did you ask Rick Glaser what is his disinterest in PBC? Because I just showed you on your screen where he said that PBC, let me put it up there again. He said that PBC is underwater since its inception in March 2015. And the Amazon deal is not happening. He said that on January the 24th, 2020. Rick Glaser did not come out the other day and publicly acknowledge that the deal was done, that it was an official deal, and that he was wrong. But instead, what Rick Glaser did the other day, he went back on the same platform of Twitter or X, and he said these words that's on your screen. So my question again to you, Bandel, is did you ask Rick Glaser what is his disinterest? Since you asked me what my interest was in PBC, did you ask Rick Glaser what his disinterest was with PBC? I haven't seen Bandel in the chat. Did somebody time him out or something? Because the last time I checked, PBC ain't did anything wrong. So technically, there's really nothing to defend. I just said that Al Haymon and PBC have been successful since their inception of March 2015 till today. The fighters are being paid and compensated extremely fairly, more than any other fighter in the game. And on top of that, they're being exposed to different networks. See, people forgot that Al Haymon had a deal with ESPN way before Top Rank and Bob Arum did. Somebody can say, no, they didn't, Manager Marty. Okay, Tony Harrison. He had his first loss on ESPN under the PBC banner. Come on, y'all. PBC took their show on the road with the FS1. PBC took their show on the road with the Spike TV. PBC took their show on the road with the Fox. PBC took their show on the road, went to Showtime. And PBC took their show on the road again and inked a deal, a multi-year deal, by the way, with Amazon Prime. But you got Barbershop Conversation saying that Al Heyman is a bad businessman. Lord have mercy. Okay, so this is the answer to Bandel's question. Well, I gave my answer to Bandel's question. This is Bandel's answer to my question. I don't really care about these promotional outfits. I never asked Rick anything. I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to read no more. Get it off the screen. I don't want to read no more. So now my question becomes, why not? I'm not mad at you, Bandel. I appreciate your viewership. Why not? Because you were comfortable to come in my chat and ask me a question. Why not ask Rick Glaser a question? Why didn't you ask him? You was comfortable to ask me. And this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Y'all proving my point. This is what I'm proving. Once again, when false narratives about the business of boxing is being exposed to an audience that don't know better, people hear false narratives as truth, and then they come right, I just said it a few seconds ago before you answered, they come right over to my platform, in my comment section, in my live chat, on the panel. I've had people come on the panel live, face to face, and they start repeating the same words that these guys say. And then when I try to educate them, I get insulted. And guess what happens to my audience? My audience get confused of what's true and what's not true. That's why I'm standing on honor and integrity. He just proved my point. You said I didn't ask Rick anything. Why not? You came over here and asked me. Why not ask him? The man, I just proved to you and showed you what the man said that's still on your screen. You see that? Why Rick ain't come out and say he was wrong for predicting that the deal wasn't going to happen? Why didn't Barbershop Conversation come out and say he was wrong for saying Al Heyman was a bad businessman? And he's already projecting that the fighters are not going to get paid. That's the words of Barbershop Conversation. If y'all was here from the beginning of this broadcast today, I already replayed his words. When you got guys like World Combat Sports, y'all heard him say what he said. Oh, Al Heyman's using OPP. He's using other people's money and blah, blah, blah. See what I'm saying? Something that all managers and promoters do. In fact, not even just them. Something that all of us as good business people, period, do, no matter what industry you're in. It's always good to use other people's money. Are you crazy? That's good business. What's wrong with you? You see what I'm talking about? I make too much sense when I talk, y'all, because you know why I make too much sense when I talk? It's not because I'm just so intelligent and I'm the oracle and I'm him, like Barbershop Conversations say. No, it's because it's just basic arithmetic that any person with common sense can dissect and figure out. Now, moving right along to our last guy. You've guessed it, the guy who calls me this name on your screen. Him. I want to say this live. I have to say this. It's important. I take my glasses off when I say this. And then I have to drink my water because I have to transform my voice into a smooth R&B voice. Excuse me. All right, fellas. Move over. Please move over. This is totally not for you. Step to the side, fellas. This is my customary public service announcement to all the ladies, live and living color. Fellas, step to the side. Step to the side. This message is not for you. To all the ladies that's watching me live and live in color. Yes, you, sweetheart. Don't look around. I'm talking about you. You're making me blush, girl. I'm talking about you. Thank you. I double salute you, queen. All of you that are engaging in the chat right now, who find it not robbery to invest your time and your monetary resources to help improve and enhance the visual and the audio quality of the content that I publish on this channel. And from the bottom of my heart to the depth of my soul, Manager Marty says thank you. And I really appreciate it, ladies, for real. And I got women all around the world that watch me live and live in color. So double salute to you, queen. I appreciate it. All right, fellas, come on back in the room. Let's talk some more of this controversial topic with this guy who calls me Janitor Farty. I have a concern of mine, okay? I have a concern of mine. And I'm sure that, hold up, let me get this off the screen. Y'all got to see my face for this. I have a concern of mine. My concern with Coach Malachi, aka Coach Toby, is that a grown man, and he looks older than me. I don't want to assume that he is, but I'm just going to hypothesize that he seems like he's an older male. He's older than me in age. A grown man, whether he's older than me or not, isn't the point. The point is he's a grown man, I'm a grown man. We're grown men. A grown man has given me a pet name. Not like a decent pet name. Like, see how I call him Coach Toby? You know, Toby, you know, the tap dancer. You know how they used to call Toby tap dancer for the white man? Yeah, because Coach Malachi be tap dancing for Rick Glaser, the white guy. Anyway. Janitor Farty. He gave me a pet name. Like we in middle school or high school. Matter of fact, in high school, we ain't never give. But elementary school, preschool, grade school, middle school, he gave me a pet name. Why? I promise y'all, I'm not lying to y'all. I never seen one piece of his content at all. I did not know anything about this guy. Seriously, I did not. A Roll the Tape Film crew member emailed me 2 or 3 pieces of content a few months ago. That's how I realized that he was talking about me and stuff, which I didn't care. I just made entertainment out of it. But I'm like, who is this dude? What? Because everybody keep coming out the woodwork. If you Google Manager Marty, right? And this is not lie. You're going to find that other YouTube channels, not just the big ones, the ones that's smaller than my channel, they throwing shots at me from all over. All over the place. Just go on YouTube and type my name in the search engine. You're going to see a couple of videos about me that I'm like, I ain't even know nothing about. And I really don't care because I use it as a teachable moment and entertainment. That's what you came here. YouTube is TV. It's all entertainment. But a grown man gave another grown man a pet name. A man he never even met before. That's crazy to me. I have some concerns about that. I do. Because here's the thing. There are certain women that was in my life that meant something to me. I'm sure they probably not. They probably not watching me now on YouTube or none of that. And some of them probably don't even know I have a YouTube channel. Who cares? But my point is there were certain women, okay, that I dealt with in the past. That I held them dear to my heart at one point in time when they were in my life and I was in their lives. And I gave them certain nicknames that correlated with their names. Like Low, for example. Right? That's one of the nicknames I gave a woman that was dear to me at one point in time in my life. Like J.O. I can name the names. Like Keed. I can name the names. Like Tia Boo Boo. These are names in terms of endearment that I would call them. But here it is. A grown man is doing the same thing that I do to show the women that I cared about them when they was in my life. He's doing that to me. I have some concerns about that. And that same man who gave another grown man a pet name is the same man that uses Errol Spencer's first name with the word sexual attached to it to describe Errol Spencer's fans. Aerosexuals, right? I have some concerns about that guy. I do. Oh my goodness. This guy here, Coach Malachi. Before I replay his words and roll the tape on him before we get on up out of here, I noticed something when I was conducting research on all of these guys, with the exception of Rick Glaser. I'm talking about the content creators. World Combat Sports, Barbershop Conversation, and Coach Malachi. You see the date on your screen? Look at the date on your screen when he did this video about PBC. Look at it, y'all. Please look at it. I'm going to show you something. The date on your screen associated with the description of this video that I'm about to play the audio for was on October the 20th, 2023. Watch this. Look at this video that I already played y'all the audio for. So let me go back. This is October 20th, 2023. PBC's name is in his title, and he's saying things unfavorable about Al Haney. Watch this. Bam. Look at your screen. 4 days later, look at your screen now. This World Combat Sports, I already played y'all the audio. Look at your screen now. October the 24th, 2023. PBC is in his title. And he's saying unfavorable things about PBC and Al Haney. And watch this. Bam, it don't stop there. 3 weeks before that, on October the 3rd, 2023, PBC is in his title. And he's saying unfavorable things about PBC and Al Haney. You see my point, guys and ladies? And ladies and gentlemen, and members of the jury and members of the Roll the Tape film crew, you see the pattern here? Do you see the behavior pattern that I discovered about these guys? I'm going to show y'all again. October 20th, Coach Malachi. October 24th, World Combat Sports. October 3rd, Barbershop Conversation. Let me show my face for this one. You know what that shows me? See, I study behavior patterns. I told you that before. Oh my God. God is awesome. Isn't it a great feeling to be loved? Isn't it a great feeling when you overcome trauma? Whew, Lord have mercy. Perfect peace. See, I never watched none of those videos. I just did just to do research on what they said about PBC. So what it shows me is these guys are not content creators. I'm going to show y'all again. I'm going to show you a play. I'm going to show y'all the play. Stay with me. Show y'all the play. October 20th, PBC, shocking surprise. That's Coach Malachi. October 24th, 2023, 4 days later, PBC investigation order. This is World Combat Sports. October 3rd, 2023, Barbershop Conversation. Breaking news, PBC going to an app in 2024. Y'all see the behavior pattern? These guys are not content creators. They don't create content. They create chaos. Let me say that again for the people in the back. They're not content creators. They don't create content. They create chaos. It's not a coincidence that all three of these gentlemen who speak unfavorable about PBC and Al Heyman do these unfavorable PBC videos around the same time. Why do I say that they're not content creators? Because they don't create content. All they do is watch other people. That's all they do. They read other articles from Mike Coppinger, from Chris Mannix, from Dan Raphael, from real broadcast journalists like myself who know the business of boxing, like other people that conduct interviews with fighters and trainers and promoters and executives like YSM Sports Media, people who give great background on the sport of boxing and do a great job presenting the information, like the other content creators I'm cool with, and then they go out and give their opinion on their phone or their computer. That's not a content creator. A content creator creates. They're unique. They don't just read articles and then say, all right, I'm gonna give y'all my opinion on it. Content creators investigate truth. They investigate facts and they don't mislead the people. I'm talking about genuine content creators. I just wanted to show you that real quick. Now let's get back to Coach Toby. And let's hear what he had to say before we wrap this thing up. On October the 20th, 2023. Let me roll the tape on him. I'll be right back. This is Coach Malachi, aka Coach Toby, on October the 20th, 2023, when he talked about PBC and Al Heyman. And he also said that Amazon wasn't interested in dealing with Al Heyman. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
PBC. So that kills the other rumor that we've been hearing floating around on the social media chitlin circuit. As I explained to you guys on the show yesterday, I don't know what to believe. Why? Because I've heard 10 different rumors about non-existent deal offers via Twitter and YouTube when it comes to Al Heyman's PBC. True. So Dan Raphael came out and dispelling all this stuff.
Now, let me stop you right there. See how he's mentioning Dan Raphael? Once again, he ain't creating content. He reading what a real journalist said. A real journalist, a Hall of Fame editor, a Hall of Fame journalist who did the footwork and talked to the people that's close to the deal. And then he came out of nowhere and repeated what he heard. It don't stop there. There's more. Roll the tape.
I don't know what a Shea Butter laptop revolutionaries getting this information from. Cause I said this yesterday. I said, man, look, where are these rumors coming from? Now when dudes come over here and say something to me, I say, yeah, man, did you hear about this? I said, where you heard that from? I always ask where they got it from. And then when they can't tell me where they got it from, well hold on, where you got it? Yeah, man, now you know that. Now you know now the zone is offering. They're in the bidding war right now. I think these McConnell niggas just wake up in the morning and just because they so pro network and PBC that I think they just wake up in the morning and they just be making shit up. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, see, there's a bidding war, and see, Amazon Prime, they got about 167 million subscribers. So that if they come over there, they got to, if you can get about 20% or 10% of that 167 million subscribers, but we'll do hell of a numbers on pay-per-view. How many pay-per-views you think Earl will do that we fight on Amazon Prime? Or what, bro, these Wakanda niggas, these McConnell niggas like they got a bro and they be coming up with all kind of math equations in their head. All of a sudden these niggas is experts in marketing. They experts in they experts in accounting. Yeah, my nigga, I made a A++ in math. How to spell math, sir? Math, sir. Oh, that's easy. MAF, math. Sir, Malky said math. All right, sir. So you say you're an expert. Like niggas be on live arguing. Yeah, man. See, what's the name? Need to take the 20 million. See, Crawford dumb. He supposed to took the 5%. And the 5% that he would have made fighting Arrow is way more than the money that he's ever made fighting that top rank. I say, sir, how you know that? Like, where you get this from? And then I was listening to Fad None. And yeah, see, he was a lawyer. And see, and he was an accountant too. And then I was listening to General Farty. And General Farty said, he looks smart, he got glasses on looking like E.T. So I was listening to him.
And Janitor Farty, he's referring to me. He wears glasses and he looked like E.T. All right, that might be true. I mean, I do wear glasses. Maybe I do look like E.T. Who cares? I don't do this for the looks. I don't do this for the likes. I do this for the licks. And guess what? Let me take these off. I don't have to explain my looks to another grown man. The ladies know what it is with me. Look at your looks. Okay. But the point is that why he bring my name in it? I ain't say nothing about Bull. Never said nothing about him. When was that published when he said that? October 20th, 2023. When was it published when he published this about me? October 20th, 2023. Lord have mercy. See, it don't stop there, y'all. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
Okay, who that is? I don't know. He look kind of mean. I kind of like him, but he look a little meaner than the other dude. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you ask me who I like tomorrow night, I can't tell you, man. I can't tell you. Anyways, let's get into the show. But before we do, we gotta say all praise is due to the Most High, the Most Exalted human being on the planet Earth, the guy who was known as Unicron, known for destroying boxing networks. My boss, Mr. Al Haney. Well,
The guy who was known for destroying networks, Al Heyman. Where is he getting this information from? Once again, you have the right and the responsibility as a viewer and supporter of his content and channel, or if you don't like his stuff, he said this publicly, you have the right. Exercise that right and ask that man, what evidence does he have to say that Al Heyman destroyed networks? When I just told y'all Al Heyman did business with all of those networks, fighters got paid, or according to Glaser, fighters got overpaid. They got greatly exposed to a casual audience, and guess what? Most of them became stars and or pay-per-view superstars. If that's not good business, I don't know what is. So what evidence does he have by saying Al Heyman destroyed networks? The man, Coach Malachi, ain't done one transaction in the business of boxing. Never did a transaction with Al Heyman or a network in general. And he said this publicly, and we should be able to ask him publicly. Why not? Now, the challenge I have for these guys: Rick Glaser, Coach Malachi, aka Coach Toby, Barbershop Conversation, and World Combat Sports. Go on your platforms, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, go on your social media platforms. Since y'all claim y'all fans of boxing and y'all promote the PBC boxers, because y'all fans of boxing, right? So instead of trying to bring Al Heyman down, why don't y'all lift up the PBC fighters? Why don't y'all do that? That's my challenge for y'all. Use your platform now to come and spin the block and acknowledge that PBC is not broke, like y'all been lying saying that they were. Al Heyman is not a bad business guy. Al Heyman isn't supposed to use other people's money like other promoters and managers do. And Amazon Prime was an app, is an app, just like ESPN is an app, just like The Zone is an app. And Amazon Prime has more subscribers than all of those apps that I just mentioned. Which means, doesn't mean that the fans are going to buy the pay-per-view. What I'm saying is it gives the PBC fighters an opportunity to gain exposure to a casual paying audience. And guess who else will receive the same opportunities? The fighters that may not be under the banner of PBC. I am talking about the opponents that the PBC fighters will have to compete against. How are we forgetting about the B-side? How are we forgetting about the opponents that may not be under the PBC banner? They're going to get the exposure as well on a large platform, and they're going to be compensated fairly as well. So if you are a boxing fan, like y'all four claim that y'all are, then why don't you uplift the boxers? I already know Rick Glaser told me he's not for the fighter. So Rick Glaser, I'm not expecting you to uplift the fighters. You never do. That's all you do with Terrence Crawford. We got that. Stop repeating words that y'all all hear each other say. And all of y'all words, Barbershop Conversation, Coach Malachi, aka Coach Toby, and World Combat Sports, all of y'all words always, 9 times out of 10, sounds like y'all heard it from this guy on the screen, the white guy, Rick Glaser. So y'all gonna put a black guy down who's very successful, and the fighters that's underneath the banner who's successful, because y'all jealous and y'all hating, and y'all just want to believe everything Rick Glaser say, when Rick Glaser just showed y'all right here on your screen in January 24, 2020, that the Amazon deal was not happening. He was wrong. And he don't even have the integrity to come out and say he was wrong. And neither do y'all. PBC have put the best cards on, period. From 2015, including when Mayweather was over there, all the way till today. And that's a fact. That is not an opinion. And guess what? PBC, I gotta show you, y'all gotta show my face, because I'm passionate about the business of boxing, and I'm passionate about fighters. I don't have to defend PBC. My mom always taught me the truth don't need no defense. I don't have to defend PBC. They've been very successful ever since the inception of March 2015, as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing to defend. But being passionate about the business of boxing, being passionate about the fighters, guess what? PBC has put on extremely better cards than Golden Boy Promotions, than Matchroom and Top Rank put together. Let me say that again. PBC, and I'm including the promoters that work with PBC, like Tom Brown, Lou DeBell, and all of them. PBC as a whole, since 2015 to today, have put on the best, most entertaining and competitive cards than Golden Boy Promotions, Matchroom, and Top Rank put together. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. And I'm going to leave the same way that I came here today. I'm going to leave the same way. Same way y'all saw me come through, man, that's the same way I'm pulling out. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I got the hottest intro on YouTube. I ain't even going to compare myself to the ones I'm cool with. The 4 guys that I just named today, man, they ain't got no intro like this. They ain't got no logo like this. They ain't got no backdrop like this. They complaining and they criticizing everybody else. Come on, man. These guys are not content. Let me show my face before I roll up out the door. These guys are not content creators. They don't create content. They create chaos. Double salute again to my guy, my day one supporter, Many Face Publishing. Thank you for the contribution. Whenever our people, brothers particularly, have control of their destiny, they, including our own, will do anything to hinder and slander and stop it. That's Many Face Publishing. I'm not making this racial. All I'm saying is stop tap dancing for the white guy who hates another black guy for no reason. Because Rich Glaser don't know what he's talking about. And he's just speaking out of pure envy and jealousy. The man called me a lifelong loser and never met me before in his whole life. And most of y'all watch this man discredit and disrespect me on my own channel. And guess what? When I was backing Rick Glaser in the corner, guess what he did? Like a little 6 and 7-year-old. He had a temper tantrum and started whining, crying, and he dipped off. Just like yesterday when I called Rick Glaser on the phone, he hung up on me. These guys don't want no real work. Now, when it comes to YouTube, they don't want no real work. So it ain't about me and them. My challenge, like I said in the beginning of this broadcast, has nothing to do with me. I want them to challenge themselves to come back and use them same platforms that they mentioned something bad about PBC and the PBC fighters and Al Haney, to come back and give credit where it is due and stop putting the black man down now. Stop putting Al Heyman and everybody else that work behind the scenes, whether they black, white, or Hispanic, down, but uplift the PBC fighters, because y'all claim y'all boxing fans. And guess what? I'm going to pull out the same way I pulled up. And with that being said, y'all catch me Monday, 4:00 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm back on it. And not only that, I told you I was going to tell y'all whether or not I'm going to cover the fight. I'm not covering the fight tomorrow on live commentary, because where I'm going at is going to be extremely loud. And I ain't even going to be able to do it the way I need to do it. I mean, I could stay home and order it, but I've already made a commitment to go somewhere else. And I don't want to dishonor that commitment. But anyway, I will be watching the fight tomorrow. And y'all already know I might do a special live on Sunday. I might do a recap live on Sunday. I'm going to do a poll tomorrow and see if y'all want me to come back on Sunday and do a recap of the fight. We'll see. Y'all have a great weekend. I'm going to pull out the same way I pulled in, with the hottest intro on YouTube. I'm Manager Marty. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you.